Waking up in the verse, we start our little adventure here at my home station, Bajini Point in ArcCorp. And what better way to start the day than with a handful of caffeine tablets and a fresh contract. After a fair bit of deliberation, I settled on something simple to start with. A basic research contract. The pay is abysmally low at 2,500 AUEC, but that's low risk, low reward. And with that, we were off to retrieve our ship. I find there's something comforting about wandering the familiar corridors of your home station, an indifferent hunk of metal floating through space that somehow feels just a bit warmer than the others. It's not perfect, but it's home.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected.
And there she is, the Anvil Aerospace C-8X Pisces Expedition. Now this little ship may not look like much, but she has everything I need to get the job done. Equipped with 4 fixed Size 1 guns, a pair of Size 1 missiles, 4 SCU of cargo space, and 2 additional jump seats for a pair of passengers. All contained within a compact package with an impressive top speed. And with that, we could finally get underway.
You are clear to launch.
With a cool 25 million kilometers before the station, we still had a ways to go. But, thankfully, all of the interactive display panels offered me something harmless to pass the time. That is, of course, unless you accidentally cut power to the ship. Feeling a little restless, I get up to stretch my legs, and I notice something a little unusual happening. I seem to be suffering some of the effects of quantum travel.
After learning of the awesome power of the multiverse, I sought to learn how to travel between worlds and between universes, to explore lands the human brain refuses to understand for fear of going utterly insane and losing all sense of self, to explore worlds that challenge everything I thought possible, to expand my mind in a sense.
After several minutes of role-playing as an earthworm and seriously considering drugs, we had arrived at our destination.
Quantum drive is now off.
It's at this point that I realize we have a problem. Our Moby glass is malfunctioning, meaning we can't even check our map. Thankfully though, our station is in view, but first, something else catches my eye. A derelict Hercules Star Runner. Now, I don't know about you, but the prospect of free cargo is a bit too tempting to pass up when you've only got 40k in your pocket. So I grab my trusty multi-tool, tap the hull for good luck, and set off into the unknown. But as I drift closer and peer into the cockpit, a very uneasy sensation of malaise creeps up my spine. Instinctively wielding my tool like a bludgeon as my pulse rises, something isn't right here. Peering along the hull, there is no cargo, but there still is a whole ship to search, reluctantly. And I'm not entirely convinced the crew ever left. Nothing. There's just nothing. Closer inspection of vital components confirms my suspicions. Shit is fucked. Like we're talking dead in the water. I'm surprised the subsystems are even keeping the doors working. So we finish our quick sweep of this titanium coffin looking for anything usable. Jackpot. Snacks and drinks. Not wanting to spend a minute longer on this mechanical vestige of carrion, we scramble down the first escape ladder in sight. And in our haste, nearly make a fatal mistake. And that's when it hits me. I can't move. Something on that ship must have tampered with my suit's propulsion. As it stands, we're trapped here, doomed to rot in the shadow of this cursed vessel. But I wasn't ready to resign myself to the void just yet, so I decided to consult with a higher power. After waving goodbye to our cosmic nightmare, it seems we were finally free to go. After one extremely graceful landing, and the smallest jump you've ever seen, we finally arrived at Yellow Core Station. Now all we had left to do was settle in and give our Moby-Glass a reset. Just like that, it works good as new. Unfortunately, our little nap cost us the contract, and there are no identical ones in system. So I decided it's time to head home and pick up another. That is, of course, after we get our hands on a succulent space wiener. Arriving in system, we waste no time snagging our next job. Blackjack Security is offering us $15,000 to run protection for an outpost bunker. there they are. Every pilot's worst nightmare. The one thing no man, dead or alive, can overcome in the verse.
This is where the fun begins.
Now it was just a game of cat and mouse. With the trash taken out, we were now morally obligated to liberate anything that wasn't nailed down. So we stuffed our pockets with goodies and made our way back to the ship. And we had quite a good haul on top of our pay, but I wasn't quite satisfied just yet, so we took one more snatch and grab while there was still time. You know, it would be irresponsible to just leave these guns laying around. I'm just doing my part to keep the streets clean. So, with enough cardio to put Amy Schumer into cardiac arrest, we snatched our first payout. All in all, a great success. With my testicles now receding into my kidneys, we had nearly made it out of the frozen hole of ArcCorp. Just in time to watch the timer expire as the base turrets spin up to harass us on takeoff.
Takeoff complete.
But thankfully, the Pisces at full throttle is a bit too fast for them to get a lock. So I gave my inventory one more sort and properly kitted myself. And before we knew it, we were back at Bajini Point to drop off the loot and top off our fuel. All in all, we made out like a bandit, and feeling rather confident, I decided to take something a bit more risky for our final job. Missing persons report, male age 42, goes by the name Masahiro Sorlano. Last seen doing honest cargo work aboard a Drake Caterpillar as their co-pilot.
Landing gear raised.
But I don't buy it. Something about this story just don't add up to me. Widow and Slam are popular vices these days. And ain't nobody this clean. For all we know, he's been greasing palms and shifting drugs to every salvage yard between here and Microtech. I've seen it 1,000 times before. Honest man that gets a taste of the good life, suddenly he's willing to do anything to keep it. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. We still got a job to do, and I don't get paid by the hour. Truth is, I don't really care who this guy is. But me? I'm the guy who's gonna crack this case wide open. Talk about a cold opener. There are signs of foul play all over this wreck. Looted cargo, drag lines in the snow, and even a suspicious rescue Pisces with its hatch left wide open. Not only that, but there are scorch marks along the aft section of the Caterpillar, and a destroyed Cutlass adjacent bearing pirate markings. After scanning for danger, we descend to start our search on foot. And it isn't very long before we find trouble. A group of pirates picking over corpses like a pack of vultures. There's only one way to deal with them. Then I realize I'm taking fire from a second angle. So I make a beeline back to the ship. Quick shot of meds, and we made short work of them. Cleaning up the second group, I thought to myself, this was going to be rather easy. My hubris, my arrogance. A pirate Cutlass black, heavily shielded, heavily armored, and with a mean main turret. The only advantage we had was our speed, so we used it. After an eternity of chipping, we wore down his shields and started to crack his armor.
Target destroyed.
With the beast finally slain, we could clean up the rest of the filth and get to work. Appearing more barren than Margaret Thatcher's ovaries, it was once again time to land. Hopefully this time it's for good.
Enemy spotted!
Motherfucker! There's always one more. With the last pirate relieved of his life, we can finally get searching. Then I spotted a tiny little vent just wide enough for a man to fit through. But like a middle manager, I struggled to climb any higher. Mr. Sorlano, colder than my last marriage, clutching a 5-kilo package of slam. Must have frozen to death trying to wait out the thugs he owed all that money to. Found some rather incriminating logs on him, and with that, my work here is done. With our bank account 3 times heavier, all that was left to do was pack the ship and head home. So, as our adventure comes to a close, I'll briefly give you my thoughts on the game. Star Citizen is as visually stunning as it is functionally broken, but half the time it's all part of the chaotic fun. Yes, you can always argue that it's clearly stated to still be an alpha, but come on. There are very few problems that couldn't be solved in 10 years with $500 million. Warranted criticism aside, this game really does offer special moments that you simply can't find anywhere else. It's part of why people keep coming back, ever hopeful to see it get closer to its potential end result. And it's for that very same reason that I'm sure I will keep coming back. To get lost exploring in the verse, to accidentally kill my friends in the most egregious ways, and to die over and over just to get something accomplished because I'm too stubborn to call it quits. If you made it this far in the video, I'd just like to say thank you. This project was a step out of my comfort zone, but I had a lot of fun making it. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz. And if you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments. I always read them. One last big thank you to all my friends who kept me motivated. It means a lot. So, until the next station, we'll see you, Space Cowboy.